Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of the Please Do Tell podcast. I'm your homegirl Ronnika, and I'm here with, of course,
I am Jeffrey, and welcome back to another week. I start off a little flat this week. Last week I was excited, and I was trying to catch up, on the NBA Finals tonight, so I'm just trying to, chime in. So I'm a little delayed on the come through right now. So, but,
it's all good.
I won't spoil it for anybody.
So we are recording this episode on Juneteenth.
Absolutely, Juneteenth it is.
So, happy Juneteenth. It's truly for the culture. But I want to talk about our live after show last week.
Mm-hmm.
What a time. And I think I'm sure it's because we were in person. Jeffrey was visiting home, Benton Harbor, so we were able to record from my crib.
Absolutely. It was a time. Look, as they would say, we had a time last
night.
It was crazy. A special guest, Coop, was there, your fur baby, Coop was there, and it was cool. So it was cool to be on site, cool to see you. Cool to get the energy, because doing this, virtually is dope, but it's nothing like being in person,
the same room.
You know what I'm saying? And then I will say one thing is, from my standpoint, is it's nothing like because we're recording now, like we said, we record on Juneteenth. It's 9 p.m. Your time, Eastern Standard Time, and is it daylight or has the sun set yet?
It's set. I should say it's setting.
Okay. All right. So I'm jealous because when I was there last week, it was just around this time setting. Well, as it being on the East Coast, that sun set an hour ago. So it's damn near it is pitch black over here already. Yeah. So I missed that portion of it. But in the morning time, by 4:50, 5 o'clock in the morning, the sun's coming up. So I missed the sun at the end, but I get more in the beginning. And then, if I was not mistaken, I was doing a little bit of research. I think today was literally the longest day of the year, because tomorrow bleeds us into summer.
Oh, okay.
So today was actually the longest day of the year. So, and ironically, as we say on Juneteenth, but then we'll get to that. But, going back to last week, it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
And then with our, the viewers, our listeners, just interacting with. So
that's the best part.
Look, you got to get, if you're on the podcast, just got to make sure you get there to the live after the podcast.
We roughly go on anywhere. Let's see, around like 10 p.m. We may start around 9:30, 10 p.m.
Correct.
Just go for at least an hour. We are over there having a good time. So be sure to follow Jeffrey Booker on Facebook. That's where we go live, and it's where we have a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Yep.
All right. So we want to kick it off with.
Can I jump in?
Yes, go ahead.
So I know you mentioned about Juneteenth.
Mm-hmm.
And so, one, I think that we should, for some of our new listeners, I know we said for the culture, but sometimes they can get caught in the mix. So I would say, like, kind of explain Juneteenth, and then from the standpoint of what it means to you.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so I guess I'll jump in. Juneteenth celebration. We know the Emancipation Proclamation signed by President Lincoln. However, in certain communities, certain people of color, Black people, slaves, were not told this Emancipation Proclamation ended. And so in Galveston, Texas, one of the last communities, they found out on June, well, in June, but they didn't know exactly when. And so that's why it's 10th, because it could have been the 13th or 14th or 15th or 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th. You got to remember, well, there were no moderators, no duplicators, or no illustrators or archivists who were documenting our history
Mhm.
because at that time we were three-fifths of a man. I know that sounds so far-fetched, but it sounds like something that, it's reality, it's our history. And so
Yeah.
years later, it was enacted by America that they were going to observe Juneteenth, finally, years later. And so I understand when you're talking about and I'll make the transition about what it means to me, as in I understand from 4th of July, I remember as a kid, 4th of July, Independence Day, things of that nature. However, I knew that my family's history of coming into this country was a little bit foggy, a little bit
Hmm.
gray. And so in doing my research, doing my understanding, Juneteenth fall into that realm. And so it is my celebration of being an American citizen. And so that's how I look at Juneteenth, not just, it's an emancipation of our people saying that our people of not being enslaved, by the government. However, it did make us an American citizen. And as we see today, well, it started the process for
Yeah.
American citizenship, I should say. And so that's what Juneteenth means to me.
Ooh, I'm like, we can end the episode right there. uh, I have always, I mean, I'm thankful for the upbringing and especially for my parents just being very pro-black everything. Is that I think it was just like life-changing for me living in the South and hearing the history more, I think there because um they still have the plantation homes. They're still there, so they're still able to tell those stories. And I think Juneteenth, even as each year is going by, I feel like we're just starting to celebrate it a little bit more. I feel like before it was only in Texas, but now it's like, no, this is nationwide. And it's just the rich heritage and stories that we've lost and the ones that we've been able to recover. So of course I'm thinking of it as an archivist, but resilient. It's so many things, but
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah, that's it.
Absolutely. Look, and so like in that, I wanted to encapsulate that for our ancestors, and
Hmm.
with understanding the process of ancestors over the last, few years, ancestors are not just individuals that are people that you didn't know, or great, 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 great ancestors, someone whom you may know personally, but now they are deceased.
Yeah,
They are now your ancestor. And so, we always want to educate along the way, before we get
absolutely.
into this storytelling. So, so now let's get back, we Black Music Month, right?
Ooh,
All right, all
you
right,
know
all
it's
right,
my
all right,
favorite.
all right, all right, all right.
It's my
Look,
favorite.
look, I was on Instagram and I was looking and I seen like one of the users on Instagram. They do something every month. I know we kind of talked about it a little bit last week,
Yeah.
that day. Um, but for some odd reason this week I just couldn't catch up. I was just too busy. I know I said last week I had told, the viewers that I was gonna catch up, I was gonna be adamant about it, but I did not catch up with it last week at all. How about you?
I am right on it. Every day I know that she said that she posts after 12 p.m. noon or yeah, 12
Okay.
afternoon. And I'm looking for it every day. I'm even lunch break. I'm looking, I'm like, okay, I know. Yeah. All right. Am I going to share now or am I going to share when I get off? Because sometimes I have to sit there and think about, even though she's listed all of the days, the prompts for each day in one of her posts, I think it's her pin post. And some days I'm like, okay, I probably need to sit and think about this before I post like right away. But it's, oh my goodness, yeah, I'm on it.
And the crazy part about it, you can have that conversation with anyone. I don't want to say anyone, but you can have that conversation with anyone in your family, and they're kind of like, all right, I can give you this. And then you learn so much more about said individual because you're like,
Yeah.
damn, I didn't even know you like that song like that. Or I didn't even know that emotion came, or who is that artist? You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
yeah, I really like it. I really like it.
Mm. It's also the she'll do these bonus posts and it's I'm like, who sent her this footage? It's hilarious. It's always spot on. So it's like, don't miss those either. Like, of course, I'm looking for the prompts, but no,
And the bonus is just as much.
the bonuses are
Wow.
hilarious.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, I'm gonna chime back in. Hopefully by next week, I'll have, check out the Instagram, you'll see. You'll be like, well, why is he doing 2 and 3 a day? I may have to do 7 one day, 5 the next.
Just make sure you don't post them all on the 30th, trying to catch up.
Oh no, I won't do that. I won't do that to you.
Okay.
If I did that, I'll just put it all in my story. I'll
Okay.
drop 30 stories in one day. Boom, 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 boom.
I do want to shout out Erica Slater, which is Demita's cousin. We're both on it. Like I see her story, my story. We're every day. So one day, I think the prompt was, "What's a song you didn't like back then that you like now?" And she used Sade, Sweetest Taboo. And
Yeah, 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 yeah.
she said, I didn't like it then and I don't like it now. I was like, oh my gosh, me too.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Me too. So me and her, we've been tripping out every day from
I remember the Sweetest Taboo as a kid. Yeah, they played it so much.
oh, hated it.
Yeah, they played it so much. Yeah. Mm-mm.
I said, no, I'm good. I'm good. But yeah.
But when I do think of black music, I think of like cleaning up,
Mm-hmm.
a commute, uh, intimacy,
Mm.
uh, spirituality.
Yes.
It just black music gives so many different emotions that you can hear something it'll take you right back there.
Yeah.
And so I really appreciate Black Music Month in the month of June because June is about a lot of transitions. We talked about it before. High
Yeah.
school. Graduations, um, um, marriages. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, there's weddings, I should say. There's a lot of things that really transitions. Gardens are started. That's as
Yeah.
late as you can start a garden.
Yeah.
For the
Yeah.
most part, but. Um, yeah, so it just gives so many different emotions. So,
I think it's like instantly I think of Saturday mornings growing up. I
mhm.
mean, because I'm always going back to Soul Train.
Yeah, yeah. I remember Soul Train at my grandmother's house. Because Soul Train came on at 12. And
Yes, it
Soul,
did.
Soul Train came on at 12 and wrestling came on at 11. So wrestling better not have nothing over, or if it was running over, it was you're not gonna see that because
Yeah.
they had to watch Soul Train because when Soul Train first came on, they had everybody dancing. I remember, like this is crazy. Like had to knock the fog off of that part of the. Yeah, Soul Train was kind of like the beginning. We talked about the one show last week. I remember. What was it? Gold.
Oh, was it solid? It's not solid gold. Is it
Maybe
solid?
Solid Gold. I
Yeah,
think it was
yeah,
Solid
yeah,
Gold. That
yeah.
was a show. And then you start, even if you start pooling some people that's older, as They started, the Clark show, things of that nature. So
Hmm.
that was like the beginning of seeing like black artists on, a white publication. So
Showtime at the Apollo, even though it came on hella late,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
still we
yeah,
were able to watch it.
yeah. Hella late, never knew what channel was coming on.
Yeah.
Damn, we can't never get no following if we never know when y'all coming on. Like, damn.
He's
Like,
just flipping the channels like we
oh,
hopefully it ain't no
follow
commercial.
them.
Shoot.
Mm-mm.
That's hilarious. Okay, so we need to each share about a personal story connected to a Black song, artist, or concert.
You share first with me?
Okay, I can share first.
All right now.
Uh, um, I'm gonna go to ah concert. There was a I'm trying to remember who all was there. It was an all men's concert, so it was Jagged Edge, Genuine. I think Donnell Jones.
90s R&B.
Yeah.
90s, 2000s R&B.
Oh man, it was great. And so there was this after party, and it was who all went? It was me, Demita, Alicia, and Demita's roommate, Jennifer. So we went to the concert, had a great time. Then we went to the after party. And we were like, they ain't gonna mess around and come to this after party. Like they was hyping us up. They're not gonna be there. And lo and behold, Jagged Edge walks in, and there's a picture of Jennifer sitting on I think one of the twins' lap. It's great. I took that picture with the what did I
Your
say?
sister?
No, Demita's roommate. I know you're about to say, what? No way.
I was never gonna let her live it down.
She's gonna get a kick out of it.
No way.
Oh.
Now that's some love. Now that's some love. Ah! She was doing what?
Oh my gosh, your sister.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, so funny. Oh, okay. So I took the picture of her, and then next thing you know, Genuine walks in.
Wow. Now I do have to ask before you get in any detail. Was it like early 2000s genuine, or the dude with the big head that be moving his shit like this now? I have to ask because when he did the whole, I was like, his body didn't move, his head didn't move. That was the weirdest big shape thing I've ever seen. But I'm just a hater tonight.
Yeah, clearly. It had to be around 2006.
All right, so he was still dancing and stuff.
Yeah,
No?
yeah, yeah. So I have a picture with him. I think Demita does, Jennifer does. Alicia has a picture with him, but the finger was over the flash or over the so you don't see the whole you don't you don't see both of them in the shot. And so it makes me believe that it was a old throwback camera. I was thinking it would be my phone.
Disposable?
Yeah, thank you. Disposable camera.
Well, I only know that because I just was doing like some storage work and I came
Yes.
I came back to the crib with 50 disposable cameras, hoping that I get my childhood back. Hoping that the damn pictures work. That's another story for another time. But anyway. But she had that thing on that disposable light and it wasn't working.
Yeah. But we can all say that we met both Jagged Edge and Genuine, and they were really pleasant guys. Oh, I have a picture of one of the guys from matter of fact, I have a picture of one of the guys from Jagged Edge, and you were the first one to make a comment to my Ronnika, back the F up.
That was years ago. That was my twin.
You too old to be lying.
Well, you was close to the damn picture.
I mean, we were like cheek to cheek,
Look,
Ronnika,
but
back
that's why you
forever.
don't even have the flash on one of them, right? Just too close. Mm-mm. But
Anyways,
if I had to think of a I would go with Al Green. And one would say, damn, how would you go with Al Green? Al Green's a little older. Well, Al Green got a few songs that are just like deep cuts, classic. But my first meeting, quote unquote meeting with Al Green was hearing the story of his girlfriend or his wife throwing hot grits on him. Like, once I heard that, I remember
you
being a
know,
kid. I remember being a kid, like, grits are hot. Grits are hot. And then it was like this whole like little story that he transitioned from R&B to gospel because of
mhm,
grits, because rumors start to move. So I would say that mine that sticks out for me is Al Green, which later became like, I mean, just, we listen to Al Green music.
yeah.
Love and happiness, for
Hmm.
the good times. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I mean, he has a lot of stuff. So I would go with Al Green would be my story.
Ooh, that's
He
a good
stuck
one.
around, whether it was from the grits to the Grammys. From the grits to the Grammys, Al Green is there. Grits to the Grammys for greed. How about that? Yeah, I'm going with Al Green with my story.
Oh my goodness.
Look, a close runner-up though was Juvenile and Trina going to their
Oh
concert
yeah,
in
yeah,
Kalamazoo, Michigan. So that was a close runner-up,
yeah.
but I'm gonna go with Al Green as my story. Yeah.
It's funny. I almost used the Trina and Juvie. That
And
was
the crazy and look and listeners, look, the crazy part about it, Juvenile, Trina, concert, Kalamazoo, Michigan. Both of us,
hmm
Ronnika and I, both at the concert, not there with each other.
yeah,
Not there with each other. Think about that. And then here we go, years later, 20 years later, and it's crazy. And you never know. Look, as a listener, you gotta like retain that. You don't know where life is gonna take you.
yeah.
And that was just what black music brought us there in the same space, and we had a good time.
A great time.
Yeah, yeah.
A great time. So we already answered the question of like what did the music mean in that moment. We're gonna move right along to the playlist break, which is our Black Music Month essentials. So we're each going to pick three songs or artists that define a time in our life.
Okay. Oh, you want to go? What do they say? Rapid fire, like I go, you go, I go, you go, I go, you go to finish.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the first person that I would say, which is maybe kind of random, but I would say Jill Scott. For me, I like Jill Scott because she comes at it from a perspective of a natural black female, which typically will be strike one, strike two, strike three,
Mm.
in, the climate of America, not just today's, but, in time. If you can't be used, then, you're going to be abused. But I like the way that one of her first songs, "A Long Walk in the Park." You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I know that this is going to be a journey. Where it goes to uh, Crown Royal on Ice, as in there's moments where I mentioned earlier about black music of intimacy. Like,
Hmm.
even though, there's hard times, but we know as humans, whether you black, white, Puerto Rican, or Asian, intimacy happens. That's how kids are born. So I mean, just being
Okay.
realistic. So from Crown Royal on Ice to Golden, step into living my life like it's golden. No matter what I've done, who I am, how I will, my trajectory will be, I'm gonna live my life like it's golden. I mean,
Hmm.
if you can't um, cherish those words, then self-reflection is needed. So my first artist that I would say that is very impactful for me would be Jill Scott.
That's a good one. And just, yeah, how you described, how you broke it down here
I
for
didn't
us.
mean to get that depth
I know,
in
I was
depth,
like,
but like you
okay,
asked about me, and I wanted to talk about me.
okay, okay. Let's see. I'm going to choose Missy Elliott.
Okay, all right.
That was an era of time of music where it was a different sound. Um, they were playing with just stuff that wasn't really reality. It was next level. Like all of Missy's videos were always next level to me. And just knowing the writing and the producing that she did for so many different artists that I love, their songs that I love, I can keep going on and on. So, yeah, Missy was like my transition into womanhood, I would say. Yeah. Yep. That's
You
mine.
know what's funny that you mentioned Missy. So I'm gonna tell you a little story. It's
Okay.
just a little random little tidbit. So today, Juneteenth, beautiful day here in New York City. Beautiful day in Harlem. So maybe about 3 o'clock, clouds come through. Boom, storm. All of a sudden, 4 or 5 o'clock, uh, sunny skies.
Yeah.
6, 7 o'clock, boom, another storm comes through. It's like one of those sitting out on a balcony. First thing came to mind is, how many black songs have rain in it? Now, I mean, came in there, SWV,
Mm-hmm.
you know, what was another song that came in there? I didn't even know Seal did I Can't Stand the Rain. Just that's a deep cut. Seal. Yeah, Seal did I Can't Stand the Rain. But the one that stood out and I said was the best of all of the I Can't Stand the Rain was Missy. Even though, shout out to Miss Peoples, she is the originator of it. You gotta give just due where just due is. But
Yeah.
Missy, she hit it off out of the park with that I
Yeah,
Can't
she
Stand the
did.
Rain.
Yeah.
She did. So that's crazy that you brought that up. That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
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 Okay. Your turn.
You good?
Yeah. I thought I had to say, I'm like, come on.
Look, another thing. I didn't feel any of the allergies or what is it called? That what wood? Cotton.
Cottonwood.
Yeah, the cottonwood when I was in Michigan. Soon as I got off the plane and got back to my apartment here in Harlem, I sneezed for 36 minutes, bro. No lie. Couldn't hold it together. Nose retired that night. Nose just retired. Yes. But anyway.
You've been
Um
whipping my tail.
My second one would be Music Soul Child.
Oh.
I'm gonna go with Music Soul Child because, like what you said, I feel like Music Soul Child kind of like introduced imagery of what love is.
Mm.
It helped me to grow, and I want to dive a little deeper on it. I mean, I felt like his lyrics were creative and colorful. That's a C and C to say about, Music Soul Child. But the irony in this is how the hell did the first two artists I picked, both are from Philadelphia? Just to throw that out there, just caught it. Because he's from Philly, if
Hmm.
I'm not mistaken,
I
and
think
she's
so.
from Philly. So, just a little sidebar. If I'm wrong, then y'all tell us, get us in the comments and
Mm-hmm.
correct me. Correct me. Yeah.
I think he is. But okay.
While you go through it, I'm gonna look it up real quick. Just to
That
make
was a that was a good one. a very good one. Because I don't want to say, yes, I too would like to choose. Um,
I do.
I too. Um, Tank.
Okay, okay, okay.
I love me some Tank. Um, Tank had me really starting to love myself.
Oh wow. Wow.
He was, his songs were a lot of them were about love, sex also, but it was more of like I am desirable, but I have to believe it first. So,
Right. Right.
yes, definitely Tank.
Wow. Wow. Okay, okay. Mr. Tank. I do like I remember when Tank came out with Slowly. Home run. That was a home run, baby. That was a home run. Was that in 2000? If you
That
don't know,
song,
if you
it's
don't know Tank Slowly, you better get to know it. That's all I can say.
it's like 6 to 8 minutes long.
He's because at the end he said, I gotta break it down. I gotta break it on down. Come on now. If you know, you know.
Woo. Yeah, it's like Tank. That
Yeah, yeah.
song right there. I couldn't when it was added to Apple Music, I was like, oh yeah.
I like one of my favorite Tank songs after Slowly is One Man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm only one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, well, I know we're talking about Black Music Month, and I went R&B, R&B. Well, I gotta throw in. So I'm gonna kind of code. You know, you give me, you only can pick this. Now I want to go outside of it. But the code, they both from the same city. They're just two different genres, and they both Black music. And you already know I'm gonna step out there, and the ones that are like life changing, both of them for me was R. Kelly and Kanye West.
I knew it. I was
R. Kelly and Kanye West, boom, bam. If you know me, then you know me. You know what I mean? Like I think that R. Kelly is one of the most creative geniuses when it comes to music um, ever. Actually, Billboard, because I was doing a little, I see it today. Billboard has him top 10 all time. Even though that list can be questioned, I'm not a hater on Aretha Franklin, but number two of all time, I question because I couldn't tell you six of her songs. But that's another day for another time because we're here to uplift and not to deflate.
uh,
But um, and then well, R. Kelly just in what he's done, the creative genius. Um, um, and then when you talk about Kanye, if you don't believe in this guy and you may not like his personality, but look at the work, the body of work of what he's done. Um, um, yeah, I don't know if I finish my second year of college without College Dropout.
I was gonna say you wore that album out.
I don't think I finished my fourth year of undergrad without late registration. You know what I mean? So I mean, yeah. So I would be remiss without talking about Kanye and R. Kelly, because R. Kelly helped me with the making mixtapes and all that.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
talking about I was trying to create my own economy at the time.
Shout out to hustling.
Come on now, come on now. Oh
Mm-mm.
yeah, those are my 3A and 3B.
Okay. Okay. My last one will be Tweet.
Hey, that is your girl.
Oh man, love me some Tweet.
You put me on to her years ago.
Yeah, she
Years
came
ago.
out in '02.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
album dropped '01, '02. I know it was my senior year. But again, that was a Missy production.
That's a fact. I forgot about that.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah. Because I remember they did Takeaway together.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
look, we're genuine. Look, genuine
Yeah.
is another story.
Cause I'm gonna love you, baby. Yes. Yes. Oh man, I'm gonna have to. Okay, don't let me forget to add that to a playlist. I don't think I had it on my playlist. Okay. Um, that was around the time of like heartbreak for me.
For
It was
which
coming out.
part? What year?
Senior year of high school.
Uh-oh. No, that first the puppy love heartbreak.
Yeah.
Uh, when all of your kin folks around you look at you and talk about, well, look at your dumb ass. Look, you don't know no better.
Anyway,
Look, your kin folk, they may not be the best folk in your times of trouble.
they will embarrass you every time.
Oh man.
So yeah, that I still have tweet. Are we bothering you? Okay. Um, yeah, tweet. I think I still even have the original CD. I don't know what it is about me wanting to hold on to just that one.
Who tweet?
Yes.
Oh wow. Wow. Look, that's funny. You mentioned about Tweet. I remember and people talk crazy stuff about Lauryn Hill and her Unplugged album. But during the period of time that that album came out, CD players was out. So if you had a CD player, you knew that if you bump it, it's gonna scratch that CD and that CD ain't gonna, play.
Yeah.
Well, that summer I was riding lawnmowers. So I was bumping in there. I ended up buying Lauryn Hill's Unplugged album 3 times, y'all. 3 times. That's why when I talk about it, with our friend Tanisha, we know that album because
Yeah.
I know that album. I even know when she's talking through it. I know the parts of that album because I was a Lauryn Hill fan at a point, but she just forgot to drop the albums. So I don't know. You got to drop the albums, you know. I don't know.
I think we're fine with what we got. All right. So yeah, that was fun. That was
Don't be look, don't be. I'm just saying, Lord, we need another album. We're waiting for another album. Please. Hashtag please.
uh,
Come on now.
all right, we're gonna move into our next segment.
I'm frustrated about the album. Please, I'm sorry.
All right, we're gonna go into the foolishness files. This song was playing, but the drama was louder. So a music-related memory that took a turn. A fight broke out. Oh my gosh, there's so many I could think of. Sadly, I could think of. Fight broke out during the Cupid Shuffle. Someone passed out at the family reunion during Earth, Wind, and Fire. So a music-related memory that took a turn.
Man. uh I'm gonna run right off hand. I'm gonna let you lead this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, it was the parties in Ben Harbor. It was something about whenever like Lil Scrappy or Lil Jon and the East Side Boys,
Jeezy.
Jeezy, something if something like that
Gucci.
came on. Yeah, good. If one of those songs
Like I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm studying throwing artists out there.
probably not Gucci. I don't think Gucci was around then, but
Oh, Gucci been around for a long time.
I don't know when we was in high school.
I don't know. Well, when I was in high school, no, I'm just joking.
Make me sick. Anyway, I got introduced to Gucci when I moved to North Carolina, and that was in
Gucci been around for so long. Gucci got 36 albums.
Mm-mm. Anywho, going back to whenever one of those songs came on at the end of a party, people get to jumping around, elbows get to moving. You didn't hit the wrong person, and then a fight breaks out. So
That's a fact.
whenever I hear one of those songs, I instantly go back there in my mind and me falling at one of the parties when that song came on, fight broke out. I got
Look,
pushed out of the way.
you'd be shocked about Gucci though. Look, Gucci been out since '05, right? Gucci got 16 studio albums, 3 collaborative albums, 100 compilation albums. I mean, excuse me, 10 compilation albums, a soundtrack, 8 extended plays, 80 mixtapes, and 100 singles. Gucci man does numbers. People don't know that. If you're from the South, you know. I didn't know until you start hanging around. You're like, oh, and then they start running around. Oh, Gucci this, Gucci this, Gucci this. Oh yes,
Yeah.
Gucci does numbers. It's crazy, crazy. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know about him again, like I said, until I
Till you
moved
got
to
to the
North
South.
Carolina. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was like, what is this? I'm going to go download it as soon as I get home.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
So I would say a foolishness file. It would have to be something old school with my family. You know,
Wait, it says bonus points if it happened at a wedding, prom, or church.
wedding, prom, or church. Um, I remember an event in high school where whistle while you twerk. Da 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 Go ahead and start, and man, that is
I thought you were gonna keep going. I'm like,
that right there in itself. If you were, in somewhere in adolescence, at 8,
mm,
to like 30, during that period of time, you knew Yin Yang Twins.
yeah,
Yin
you
Yang
did.
Twins. That would be the one.
Mm.
And no matter, I would say that that would give you joy. As in, I don't think I've ever seen anybody fight off that song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before you be like, I shoot
Yeah.
him. And right now, no, 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 no,
Yeah.
no, no. Not with Yin Yang. Yin Yang Twins was more about, hey, let's have fun. Even the Whisper song.
I was gonna say the way we are on it tonight.
The Whisper song. Yeah, yeah.
Uh
So,
like
yeah,
who else would have thought of that, you know?
them Yin Yang Twins.
Mhm.
They had, but they had some good songs.
Yeah, they
Like Yin
did.
Yang Twins. They did. They had a few. Georgia Dome. That was another one. You get a chance, go ahead, Apple Music, Google it. I
Yeah.
mean, not Google it, but YouTube it. Georgia Dome. It's a good one. Yeah. Now, don't be looking it up now.
I
Put it down. Put it down.
okay, so now we're on to rapid fire music memory edition.
Okay.
So, ready?
Yes.
First album you ever owned.
First album. So first album means non-soundtrack. So the first album I ever owned, yeah, we technical over here. The
Okay.
first album I ever owned was Lauryn Hill, The Miseducation. Yep,
Hmm.
yep. Lauryn Hill, Miseducation.
I believe mine was Mary J. Blige, Share My World.
Mary J.
Yep.
Oh man, that's a classic.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure? Was that you said the first album you ever owned?
Mm-hmm.
What year did that come? I disagree with you. I disagree with you. Yeah,
Oh, wait, well, we're not talking about CDs.
I'm calling you out. I'm calling you out. I'm
Here we
disagreeing.
go. Here we go.
So y'all don't know this. All right. So round yonder a few years ago, I had an opportunity of going on this school trip with the co-host over here, Miss Williams, and she let me use her headphones, not like regular headphones, the little soft headphones with the little wiring, because it was a tape player. And long story short, I was listening to Blackstreet, Another Level. That's a great album. Great album. And it was Ronika's. And somehow somebody I remember going to sleep and putting the headphones underneath my seat. I remember waking up the next day and they were gone. And let's just say we never found it. Well, Ronika told me when I got back to the school, 2 days later, I was hoping she would forget, y'all. I was hoping, praying. I was hoping. She told me before her parents came and picked her up, i.e. her father at the time, because I was scared of him. She told, you got to give me my money now. It was $80. Think about it. I was 13 years old. $80 to a 13-year-old. I felt like she made me run my pockets. I am upset still. So I don't think I'm going to question about this first album that you had. I think it was Blackstreet Another Level.
Oh my God.
That's my little tip.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I was robbed that whole trip. I'm like, and it was the people that was with us, like, and when I said that, I remember getting in trouble for even saying that. That pisses me off to this day because we're here now. Anywho, and they stole my mom's 35 millimeter camera.
Look,
Wait, that's not it. They actually developed the photos and were selling them.
Selling your photos. Come on now. Look, we just said shout out to the entrepreneurs. Come on now. Look, we was hustling at that time. How you gonna sell it at the same school though?
We no, they sold it to people like in their neighborhood or that went to King or Fairplain. These are these were our junior highs back in the day. Um, yeah. This one guy told me he was like, "Yeah, I got a picture of you on a bench." It looked like, it looked like you at a park or something. And I'm like, I was like, oh my God, who'd you get it from? Like, I didn't connect the dots. Like, you bought that picture for $1? But yeah, I mean, they were they were robbing me left and right. Oh man.
That one sound like you went on a good trip.
Okay. Okay, so maybe it was Tupac. All Eyes on Me. No, I think I was before that too.
Today's been a crazy day. I just want to let you know. I know we going back and forth, but you mentioned Tupac. I listened to Tupac earlier. You mentioned Tweet. I was talking about Tweet earlier. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
We've been in sync.
All day.
Yeah.
Okay. Song that reminds you of your childhood home.
Oh man. Childhood home. I mean, I had two. But I'm gonna keep it to the projects. And I'm gonna say Tupac Changes. And that shout out to the Terror Dome. If you know, you know. That's my project, the Terror Dome. If you know, you know. All right.
Well, all right.
If you know, you
If
know.
you know, you know.
Yeah.
I think it'll probably always be Nat King Cole, this Christmas. Is it this Christmas? Yeah, I think it's,
Oh wow.
yeah.
That ain't Nat King Cole. This person or Donny Hathaway?
No, so no, not this Christmas.
This Christmas.
No, no, not that one. So no, chestnuts roasting on the
Okay. Yeah.
Jack
Jack
Frost.
Frost. Never. Grab your nose. I can't tell you the rest.
Yep. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yes, that is the
So
that
when
is,
that so you so it that takes you back to when you were a kid for Christmas.
yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
What's up? Yeah.
So, one artist you wish you could see live?
Well,
Oh.
I mean, we've mentioned, I mean, I already said like kind of like my top four. Like R. Kelly, I would like. Kanye, I would like to. Don't want to spend that money for it though. I will accept Kanye if you're listening. Please do tell. And Music Soul Child, I'm not spending money for it. And Jill Scott had an opportunity to see. So I'm gonna go with somebody I would pay to see. Um, Wiz Khalifa.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I would
Was
do
not
Wiz.
expecting that.
I'm a Wiz fan. He had me like in Black and Yellow, and then
Oh
Quick and
yeah.
Orange Juice. One of the best albums. If everybody has their own thing, what they do. One of the best albums. I know that there's, some followers or people that like it that we know we like Kush and Orange Juice by Wiz Khalifa. It's a great album.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's a real good, it's a good laid back, chill. If you're driving like a road trip, it's one of those
Yeah.
albums, track to track to track to track. It's great. Yeah.
Um, you wish you could see live. I'm gonna say still Tweet. I have yet to see her live.
Understood.
Yeah.
Understood. Understood. Yeah, Tweet be a cool. We gotta find it.
Yeah.
I'll be down.
Okay.
Yeah. We throw it in there. And then maybe we can record before the concert.
Yes. Okay, so that's on our to-do list.
I just added it.
Okay. One line from a song you still quote like scripture.
One line from a song I still quote like scripture. Well,
I'm not.
this is the internet. I was going, I'm an R. Kelly fan. I feel so. All right, so I could go there, but I'm going to step it back for a second, everybody. Oh, no, I'm going to go with, man, I want to, like a lyric that would. I'm gonna pass it to you first. I'm
Okay.
passing it to you. Yeah, I'm passing it.
I'm gonna throw shade if I can't get paid. Blow you up to your girls like the Army Brigade. You can slide on my ice like the escapade. You know, look here.
You gotta dance that one too. Who is
Nah,
that? Who is that?
look him. Crush on you.
Oh, I ain't heard that in so long. Oh man, a single lyric is tough. It's so many. And I went dead, and I would have to go. That's crazy. We've been talking about R&B, 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 but if we wanted to go to a lyric, you have to go to hip hop to find that lyric. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it can get real. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. No, I ain't even gonna answer. I'm gonna stay dumbfounded on that one because
Oh no.
that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I mean, you could go like Kanye that talks about, haters, marry haters, and have hater kids. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of stuff. Or you can go with a Jay-Z line. You know, yeah, it's just so many. But I probably would stick to something from Jay. You know, but nothing like kind of sticks out like right now. That's crazy. Like I
Once
don't
a
have
good
one right,
girl is gone, she's gone forever.
and that's more than ever. Yeah, that was some crap. So I mean, it's just so many. It's so many, so
Yeah.
many. Yeah, I would ask our viewers. They have to share. They have to share.
Okay.
Then we can revisit this one. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be ready. 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 Yeah, that one stumped me. I'm
Uh-huh.
stumped off. I'm not stumped off. A lyric that so now the next week I'm gonna be thinking, what lyric?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That'll be in our recap at the top of the
hmm
next episode.
hmm
Who's the greatest Black vocalist of all time?
The greatest black vocalist of all time. Um, According to Billboard, they say Stevie Wonder, as of today. But I would say vocalist, that can actually sing. Um, some of the people that stick out is like Minnie Riperton, that
Mhm.
have that range, you know. So she sticks out.
Shaka Khan for me.
Shaka Khan.
Hmm.
Okay. That's crazy you mentioned Shaka because Shaka Khan got a song that I just came up or just came through my world like 3 years ago. Papillon, Papillon. You know that song?
Yeah, I was introduced to it also. And
Okay. I
yeah.
didn't know that song at
Me
all.
either. Me
At
either.
all.
Yeah.
At all.
Yep.
Funny people, because some people was debating Shaka Khan before. They was like, I can't even tell you 6 Shaka Khan songs. And, I can't either. But I tell you that one, that's a classic. That's a
Hmm.
classic. Yep. Yeah.
Well, that concludes our rapid fire.
Oh boy. I'm glad I'm out of breath.
So, y'all, we want to hear from you. We want you to share some of your favorite songs and the story behind it, because we want to include them in the next episode. So, especially those people that are listening to our after shows, drop them in the comments. We will share them on the show. So, we want to just be able to, excuse me. You want to find us, right? You want to know how to find us. So, where are you at on social media, Jeffrey?
You can find me on Facebook, Jeffrey Jeffrey Booker Booker, or you can find me on Instagram at MrFantasic excuse me, World WORLD. Again, Mr. Fantastic World, one word. You can find me there on Instagram. DM me, add me, and let's communicate because I need some help with these lyrics. I can't believe I'm stumped on it, man. That's crazy. Crazy.
Or you may think of something during the after show. So,
Now this is
yeah.
true. This is true. My little antennas over here. Do-do-do, look. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. They up. They up.
That's why you have to listen to the after show. So be sure to follow Jeffrey on Facebook. That's where we go live after we record this episode.
Yeah, we already posted on there. I
Yep.
posted like maybe like 15, 20 minutes ago. We're going live, so they're kind of like crowding
Where
in the
you
room.
at? Okay, okay, we're wrapping it up. We're wrapping it
Yeah.
up. So you can find me on Facebook. I'm Ronika, Ronnika Williams. And you can also find me on Instagram. I am also my first name, Dot Williams, on Instagram. We will be having the link tree. I know I have a link tree. We're gonna have to get Jeffrey a link tree account as well. So
You know,
that's
I'm kind of new to this, everybody.
I know.
So
I have to give him the
help me,
whole.
please help
I
me.
have to give them the whole, Linktree is a place where it's a one-stop shop, one link where anywhere they can find you. Hello. So yeah, we'll set them up by the next episode, okay, y'all? And please, y'all, wherever you listen to the podcast, it's Apple, Spotify. If you're watching us, we're on YouTube. Um, be sure to leave a review. We love for you to share how you love the show and how you are sharing it with your friends and family because everybody loves a good little story time, you know?
No, we on YouTube? No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. You gotta plug it. You gotta plug it.
You all see what I have to deal with? You see?
Every day.
Mhm.
Every day. Every day. That's how the magic happens.
All right, y'all. So we're gonna wrap up this episode of the podcast. So catch us in the live after show. And Jeffrey, do you have any final words?
In the words of Ronnika, I'll holla.
I'll holla. See y'all next week.
All right now.